and watched the fight. Of course, you took on Jake Hager. You did lose by submission in the first round. However, how did you feel about the performance? I mean, obviously, this is a guy, Hager, you know, they knew he had the wrestling pedigree himself. And how did you feel about what you did? Because you did give him a little trouble. You didn't give the takedown up too easily. And it seemed like, you know, you didn't tap out right away either. So talk about that.
You know, if I'm gonna take anything from a 2 minute and 36 second fight, you know, I'm gonna try to find all the positives that I can. You know, I defended a few submissions. You know, at the initial takedown, I did defend, and you know, those were key. You know, key elements to what I wanted to do ultimately. However, it just you know, his skill got the better of me, which was you know, which is okay. Anything can happen in a fight, so yeah, we're definitely working on correcting the mistakes that I made in Bellator 221, and then hopefully we'll get the job done next time.
For sure. And then has Bellator contact you anything regarding an upcoming fight, or they say, hey, we'll keep your number in case something turns up?
Yeah, you know, my manager said that he said that he's in contact, and that we're having a bunch of offers come through, and right now we're just taking it one fight at a time. I was supposed to fight MMA July 20th, and the reason I took that fight is because it's only 50 miles from where I live, so I didn't have to do any traveling or anything like
Right.
that. So, but right now we're weighing a bunch of options, and I'm not a matchmaker, so whoever my manager tells me to fight and the date, and I'll get with my wife, and hopefully it'll all work out.
Sure, sure. So are you looking to fight a couple times this year? More? Maybe like two, three
Yeah,
times?
yeah, absolutely. I'd like to stay relatively busy. It really depends on scheduling and you know, with my job and all that fun stuff. If it all works out, then yeah, maybe three more times this year, possibly four. I'm boxing now. There's still a few months, you know, of 2019 left. You know, 6 7 months left. So I think we can stay busy.
Okay. And so talk about your upcoming fight. You fight Tim Bronson, I believe, at the Garden City fight, July 20th. It's a boxing fight. So talk about this. Was this your coach's idea to work on your striking a bit more? Was this your idea that, you know, you'd want to just do a stand-up fight? You didn't want to worry about the takedowns and the wrestling right now. You want to
No,
actually go out there. I know you want to go out there and entertain the fans. So talk about the decision.
No, this was supposed to be an MMA fight. My original opponent backed out. He got injured 3 weeks before the fight. I got a jiu-jitsu coach. I've been really working on my groundwork. I've been working on my wrestling, all things that I feel are my weakest. And then come to find out, so we kind of scrambled to find a new opponent. Tim Brunson stepped up. He messaged me personally and asked for the fight. They wouldn't accept it for an MMA fight. I don't know the politics behind that or why they wouldn't. Um, but they said if you wanted to box, we could box. And my whole thing was is I just wanted to fight this summer. I didn't care if it was MMA. I didn't care if it was boxing. And then they told me if it was for the Southwest Kansas Heavyweight Championship. I fought the Kansas Heavyweight Champ twice. I didn't get the job done both times, but I feel this is the best way to possibly get a third title shot. So, or you know, a shot at the Kansas title if I can win this belt.
Definitely. And you know, usually we see MMA fights. Usually they have kickboxing or Muay Thai bouts, you know, on the card. So it's pretty unique that they have a boxing fight on an MMA card, right?
It's a mixture. There's some amateur boxing, pro boxing, amateur MMA. There's a pro MMA. Yeah, it's definitely really cool. They're kind of putting it all together. I believe the promoter said there's actually going to be a cage there as well, so it's going to be like a ring cage kind of, you know, dual threat kind of promotion. So I think it's really cool, definitely.
Yeah, usually the both sports they like to stay away from one another. You know, obviously, you know, the boxing promoters want nothing to do with MMA and vice versa. So it's pretty cool that this is happening. I hope there's more events like this in the future.
Yeah, you know, I always say if it makes dollars, it makes sense. You know, people like to
Right.
see people get hit. You know, people like violence. People like, you know, in any type of combat sports. You know, you're always going to have some sort of viewership. You know, I don't understand either why, you know, if it's kickboxing and MMA, put them together. Yeah, you know, dude, for real, put them together. Let's see what we got. So yeah, I definitely think it's pretty neat.
And who have you credit for you getting ready for this fight? I mean, is there anyone in particular in your camp that's made a difference so that they really highlighted your strengths and taking away some weakness?
Yeah, for sure. I was telling you, I have a jiu-jitsu coach now, Keith Welsh, and he's a brown belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I didn't like jiu-jitsu until I met this guy. He has a way of explaining everything, he has a way of breaking stuff down, and it just makes me enjoy the art of jiu-jitsu. I've had a jiu-jitsu coach in the past where it was just ramming it down my throat, and it was, you're doing it wrong, drill it again, where as if I'm doing it wrong with Keith, he'll get in there and he'll show me, he'll break it down step by step. And he really makes it easy for me to go in there and learn and continue to want to learn. As far as my striking, just any guy that I train and spar with, Joseph Jimenez, I work my minutes with him mostly. I spar with a bunch of different guys. It's just kind of a group camp kind of thing. I kind of travel around. And I'm enjoying training again. Back before my Bellator fight, I had quit fighting. I didn't want nothing else to do with it. I had gotten hurt, but the Bellator kind of lit the fire. The wife gave me permission to go for it, so we're giving it one more go.
Definitely. Well, we wish you the best of luck. And for anybody out there to check it out, Garden Fights, if you're into, what city is it? I think Garden City, Kansas?
Yeah, Garden City, Kansas, Jab
Yes.
Promotions. It's a Country Beatdown. And man, there's about 10 amateur boxing bouts on there. There's 2 or 3 amateur MMA fights. There's 4 pro boxing fights. There's 1 or 2 pro. It's just a stacked card. A bunch of fights are on it. So yeah, it's definitely. If you're in this area, the Dodge City, Southwest Kansas area, and you're watching this, man, come check it out. We could use all the support so we can get more shows out here.
For sure, man. And any opinion on the bare knuckle boxing? Would you like to try that, man? If the price is right, could we see Tombstone in the bare knuckle? No.
No, man. I have little girl hands. Like I have tiny wrists, tiny hands. I can pack a punch and I can hit hard, but I have to make sure I'm wrapped properly. I have to make sure I can't risk my hands, man. So no, I would never. No disrespect to it. I have all those guys are as tough as you can get. I think the toughest form of martial art is Muay Thai and or kickboxing. And I think bare knuckle is right below that. If you can take a hard kick to the leg, man, you're as tough as they come. I hate it. So definitely don't have any interest in doing it, but I love watching it.
And then talk about, after Bellator was done, you said a lot of people, gave you advice. A lot of the fighters, they took you under their wing, and they talk about some of the memories that you have of the Bellator 221 fight week and coming out in the big stage.
Oh man, you know what? I just first and foremost the fans, the love that I got from the fans. My Twitter completely blew up, which
Yeah.
was really cool. Chael Sonnen, Big John McCarthy, they both gave me some really, really cool advice that I'm gonna keep with me. I haven't told anybody what they told me. It's just stuff
Sure.
that I'm gonna take with me, probably for the rest of my life. These guys are absolute legends of the sport. So when someone tells you something like that, you just keep it and you cherish it. And then, as far as the fighters, Pat Curran, MVP, man, those guys they were super cool. Douglas Lima, after the fight, he invited me to his table. I ate with his family, I ate with his wife, and and it was completely on his dime, his money. And it was just
Wow.
a table full of food, drinks, you name it. And one of the nicest guys you would ever meet, and he's a killer. So I mean, you just learn that even though they have this killer mentality in the cage, as soon as they step out of that cage, they're family people. They love their family, they love their kids, and it's what they do for a living. And by the grace of God, I'll get to do it again, and hopefully make some more memories.
Definitely. And then you and Jake, I know it got a little heated there. You put on the submission too long, but afterwards, you guys were able to kind of, get along and kind of put that water under the bridge, right?
The water's under the bridge, but I'm a boat, so I'm still floating there. And here's the
Right.
thing. He gave me a payday and he couldn't handle my promotion. He couldn't handle how I was talking or what I was saying, and he beat me fairly easy, and I understand that. But when he held on to that submission, the only thing he did for me was allow me to call him out once I get a little bit better. And I plan on doing that. Right now, I don't think I've earned that. I have to win a few fights. I have to get my way back there. But Jake Hager will always be in my sights until I get him back in the cage.
I got you. Well, I appreciate you, TJ, for being on the Fight Port. And if you can tell us what can we expect? How are you going to get the fans in Garden City on their feet July 20th? You're going to take on Tim Bronson in the boxing ring, obviously / cage, whatever fighting arena it is. What can we expect at the big? It's called the Country Throwdown, right?
Oh man, Country Beatdown, I believe.
Country Beatdown.
No,
Yes.
yeah, hey, every fight I'm in is exciting. It can be a 30-second fight that I end up flat on my face, but that 30 seconds, you guys are gonna be on your feet, and I entertain the crowd. Once my music hits, my dance starts, and we go, and it's time to fight. You can expect a knockout. I don't think this fight's gonna go the distance. I think within 2 rounds, I'll get the victory via knockout, and obviously it's boxing. That's the only way you can win. So Tim is tough, but I think I'll break him.
Well, I appreciate you taking time, TJ, to be on the Fight Port, and best of luck to you July 20th. Everybody in the area, Garden City, check it out. Country Beatdown in the Garden City, Kansas, and Tombstone TJ Jones. Best of luck to you. Anyone you'd like to thank, you can go ahead.
Yeah, just my sponsors, Central Station Bar and Grill out here in Dodge City, Kansas, Phillips Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, and then we have the Kind Pen. We got Tropical Tan and Fitness. Tropical lets me train there, and they sponsor me to go out and do and get a great place to train and great people. So yeah, definitely. And then my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach, like I said, I can't keep raving about the guy. He's such a good dude. I think he's really good for my career. Keith Welsh, Sarah, Gloria, Joseph, Anthony, just anybody that I've trained with, man. I appreciate you guys. Shane, if you guys are watching this, I appreciate you guys for sure, and I'm looking forward to working with you more in the future.
Okay, TJ, we appreciate you taking time to be on the Fight Port today again. Best of luck July 20th. Country Beatdown at Garden City, Kansas, and hopefully everything goes viral, and hopefully everything goes in your way, and you have a big knockout that goes viral, so everybody checks it out.
I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Anytime. Take care. Bye.